play the games. Here's the latest on the My Player Nation standings as we approach the playoffs. The LA teams continue to own the Western Conference as the Lakers eye a perfect 82-0 season with the help of your My Players. And the top 8 teams in the West are set for the playoffs as the Jazz clinch the final spot. Out east, the Bucks continue their dominance at number 1, followed by the Sixers and the Celtics. But that 8th seed is still up for grabs as the Magic, Pacers, and Pistons are all trying to punch their ticket to the tournament. If you want your My Player looking good for the playoffs, then check out the
Let's be the team. Man in the middle, at 6 foot 9 inches, number 33, Flash. At the shooting guard position, 6 feet 4 inches, number 32, the Mayor. Starting at power forward, 6 feet 7 inches, number 10, Smooth. Starting at the other forward position, at 6 foot 6 inches, number 5, Champ. At the other guard position, standing 6 foot 2, number 3, the Professor. A head coach for your team. Let's hear it for team.
It's Thursday night, and it's the NBA here on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, we're seeing a new trend in NBA practices. Coaches are marking the court in different ways to help players visualize where they need to be. Take, for example, a 4-point line, rewarding players for stretching their shooting range. And a corner 3, in some cases, is worth 4 points in practice. And that encourages players to take that high-value shot. There's a lot of coaches thinking outside the box by drawing new boxes on the court. Kevin?
A lot of talk about this, David. Some new ground, certainly to look at. Thank you. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for him.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missing.
Here's the starting group for Houston. They've got the Bulldozer. Big Can out there with Doc. Then there's Harris. And it's the Great One in at the 1 spot. Smooth out there with Champ. Then there's Flash. Then there's the Professor. And it's the Mayor in at the 2. Well, Chris, as we wind toward the end of the regular season, what do you notice as an analyst that you didn't notice when you were playing?
I think what I didn't notice when I was playing was everything that goes on around the arena. Now I get to the games a couple of hours early. I get to interact with fans. I get to see game productions. The business of basketball, just how much everyone loves the game, from Adam Silver down to someone at the concession stands at the arena, how it really is a community and a family. Because when I was in Sacramento, I'm just playing for Sacramento. I didn't realize how many people in New York and Detroit and other places supported not only us in Sacramento, but their home teams, and just seeing how passionate everyone in the business of basketball, how passionate they are. And that's just something awesome to be a part of.
Here's Champ. And it's good from the elbow.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, that's something that they scouted him coming into tonight. They know he can make this shot. That's a poor effort defensively.
And the basket by Harris.
Harris.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Here's Champ. He's coming off a 16-point game again. Knocked away. Passes it to the Mayor. Goes up from the top of the key. It's rebounded by Houston. Last time they met in Houston.
Well, last time out, they got the win in large part because of the play of their bench, and they provided a lot of the scoring punch.
Well, it's such a boost. I mean, not something you want to have to count on every night, but you can tell how much they trust their reserves.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It's a lazy effort. Let's just be honest. Hoping the shooter misses, that doesn't constitute defense.
Here's the professor. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game.
Golden opportunity that he can't make good on. Maybe a wake-up call to the D, though. They can't leave him alone like that.
Here is Doc. He's coming off a 13-point game again. Clock at 6. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then follows it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback. Here's the professor. Pass to Champ. The shot will not fall. So Houston will take it the other way.
Painful to watch, guys. You could see their frustrations mounting, unable to get into any kind of a rhythm whatsoever.
Yeah, G.A., and sometimes you have games like that, but you just got to shrug it off and move on to the next one.
Here's the great one. He's coming off a 19-point game against.
And there was a lot he gave him on that other end of the floor. Don't forget about that. His defense was a big factor. He ended up with 3 steals.
Gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game.
They're trying to stem the tide here.
Yeah, they have to regroup and revisit their strategy at the defensive end.
Ladies and gentlemen, dance team.
Now to see who's atop the NBA scoring-wise. Well, you look at the professor, a top 5 scorer in the league. What a player he is.
And his contribution to his team offensively cannot be understated. He is always leading the way for them with his ability to put up points.
Here's the professor. The pass is smooth. Here's the professor. Misses and the dry spell continues. Doc the pass to the great one. Here is Doc. And it's denied.
He's forcing things a little bit in this quarter, settling for shots. He'd be better off passing that.
The professor passes to Flash. Here's the mayor. And the 3 off target. Houston leading by 3. Down low. Harris, right side. Pushing it up. Here's the professor. Buries the jumper to finish the break. The professor's got 5.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
The great one passes to the bulldozer. Here's the great one. Pass to Big Cat. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Smooth. 9 points last game out. To the paint, to the right side. Shoots. That shot misses. And Houston the other way now. Here's Grimes. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Bangs home the trifecta.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game. Chris, when it comes to playing alongside another big guy, I'm sure you have to think of ways to complement each other. Not just him, but it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah, but it starts with chemistry. It starts with vision. It starts with wanting to win. And I played with two good guys that come to mind that made me better. Juwan Howard there in Washington, just looking at him throwing it. I would miss 2-3 shots in a row, and we'd look, and he'd say, I'll get you an easy one, big fella. And I would do the same thing to him. We're playing with a guy like Vlade that would say, hey, wait a minute, Bibby or Peja didn't get a shot. Set a screen for them, and he would pass it to them, and then the next play say, now it's your turn. You're open, because they're going to go over there to those guys. We already tricked the defense ahead. So guys that are smart, guys that can pass, and also guys that will say, hey, man, you look a little tired. Let's switch. I'll check Shaq's play.
The Kitties checked in for Harris. The Great comes in for Big Cat. The Erasers checked in for the Bulldozer. And it's the Cobra in for the Great One. Here's the Cobra. 8 points his last outing. Pass to Mills. No good there. Good work defensively by Richardson. And it's all evened up.
Look, when the D will give it to you, that's where you want your shots coming from. Arm's length from the bucket.
Here's the Cobra. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And a moment now to look at the numbers for the Cobra. How last month turned out for him, averaging about 7 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he does so much for this team, but it starts with the way he leads the offense.
Yeah, he's willing to take on the scoring load, and he's more than capable of delivering.
The first free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Oh, not many players with a more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
The Professor passes to Patterson. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. 1:35 left to play here in the first. And Lawson with the block. And here we go. Here's the Professor. It's rebounded by Houston. Here's the Cobra. Right at the free throw line. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss.
Now, look, even if he had other places to go with the ball, that's a good shot. You can't blame him for letting that one fly.
Back to Richardson. Pass to Big Dog. Here's the Professor. Nice. 4 for 7 from the floor with that shot.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Here's the Cobra. Mills in the corner. Hits it from three-point range. And Houston leads by 3.
He's so aggressive at that end of the floor, and that's a quality all great scorers have.
Now the pass to the Professor. Here's Big Dog, covered by Mills. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Mills. That's his first personal foul. At the line, Big Dog.
shooting two.
No good on the free throw. Walker's checked in for the professor. Good on the second free throw. Here's the Cobra. 19 seconds left here in the first quarter. Over to the left wing. And here's Mills for three. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Houston on top. They lead by 2. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, dance team.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
Yeah, they're clawing, they're grinding, they're doing anything they could to make the most of their possessions.
And so it's Mills who will bring it up for Houston. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. They've got Richardson. Cool Hands is out there with Jay. Then it's P, and it's Big Dog in at the 5, patrolling the paint. The feed now to Patterson. Walker the pass to Big Dog. Another shot. Unable to get that one. And Houston the other way now.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
The second chance effort. He lays it in. The kid's got his first points in this one.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating because you did the job to fit.
Here's big fade away.
Beautiful spin to just blow by you.
Really dominant in the paint so far this season.
You know, its work has been a huge key to their success.
Houston.
Little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah.
Pass to Big Dog. On by here in the second quarter. Here's the Cobra. Richardson cover. It's hauled in by Richard. A 4-point Houston lead. Now a timeout called by Houston.
Up